It's absurd how much I love Journey Spice. Journey Spice, non-GMO, no salt, no sugar, just all sorts of goodness and smart, environmentally friendly packaging. Pinch the top, take it off. Food tastes better. Comes in singles, 2-packs, and 4-packs. It's Journey Spice. Find them at Amazon.com. Time for Denver's best sports talk with the Altitude Daily.
This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
It's so weird to me, the contrast between what the Knicks did and what the Nuggets have done. Now, the Nuggets fired their coach and their GM at the end of the year, too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, that felt like it was a sinking ship. That felt like that was going to end poorly. I mean, I think Josh Kroenke said at one of the press conferences that if Michael Malone had remained the coach, he thought they would have gotten into a play-in, and it probably would have ended there, I think is what he said, right?
I don't think he specified what they were going to do. He just saw them.
That was the direction.
Yeah,
I think he said something along those lines, but the point is,
he did tell me he was planning on making the move at the All-Star break.
Yeah, but then this postseason comes. Adelman keeps the job, and a lot of the talk that I'm sort of trying to read between the lines on is the problems that the team has will be fixed mostly internally, is kind of what I've read so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I prefer that to what the Knicks do. Like the rash decision-making after that. I would much rather have this than that.
Well, what do you think the primary reason is that the Knicks decided to do away with Tom Thibodeau?
I think James Dolan is a nut.
I think that's part of it, sure.
I honestly believe that the players did not want to deal with him anymore.
And James Dolan is a nut.
And all this talk about who's going to replace Tom Thibodeau, the biggest grievance given by the players is he plays his starters too much.
Yeah.
They played more minutes than any starters in the league. And I guess the thought is Michael Malone is a perfect candidate for that job, right? New York native.
Yep.
Won a championship recently. What has been his biggest criticism as a coach?
I thought the exact same thing. Yeah.
What's his biggest criticism as a coach?
And he doesn't play bench players.
That he plays his starters too much.
Yep.
So why would you replace a guy who plays his starters too much with a guy who plays his starters too much?
It's exactly what I said earlier. I was like, you would be replacing Thibodeau with a guy who coaches just like Thibodeau.
And also James Dolan is a nut.
I mean, I think that's a very good point, Moj.
I think James Dolan, I can't imagine.
That's his most successful coach since, what, Jeff Van Gundy made his run?
What about
25 years since they made the conference finals?
What about Phil Jackson? What did they do? They didn't do anything with Phil.
They didn't win anything
They didn't
with
win
Phil.
anything with Phil, no.
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
It's easier to move on from Ross Colton, $4 million. Good player, had a good start to the season, but obviously gets injured. Could you get a second-round pick for him? Probably. Maybe a third-round pick in the offseason? That's all right. You open up $4 million there. You probably have to trade Sam Girard at $5 million if you want to add more pieces. But I'm in this situation, I'm allowing Drouin to walk. I'm allowing Lindgren to walk. Now, Lindgren I thought was good, but he had catastrophic mistakes in Game 6 and Game 7.
Yeah.
That cost you the series just as much as like Miles Wood cost you the series. Catastrophic mistakes. And that was the book on Rangers version Ryan Lindgren. Was solid defenseman, second pairing guy. If he's not utilized as a first pairing guy, you're really going to love him. He's physical, he blocks shots, he kills penalties, but there's going to be the situation where you go, what on earth was that? And you had that. It was the one where he turns the wrong way with backside help of Sam Girard, and Rantanen whips around him, goes around the net, and wraps a puck in off Girard's foot. That was all Lindgren's fault. So you're going to have those situations. I would let Lindgren walk. Now, that opens up $4 million from Colton on a trade, $5 million from Girard. Now you have $9 million to spend. That makes my Gavrikov thing real, but then you have no money to fill 2 more spots.
Yeah.
The Charlie Coyle thing at 5.25 hurts. The fact, I'll say something about the McFarland deal with Coyle and and Casey Middlestat, the fact that you didn't get some sort of salary retention there kills me. 5.25 for an aging third line center, that ain't a good number. And that hurts you right now.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Out of the players that I just mentioned, Girard, Manson, Wood, Colton, Natchez, Coyle. Who are you, Coach Sanford, most willing or most excited to trade off the roster?
Ooh, Coyle.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can.
They don't put it in the options, man.
All right, Coyle gone.
Okay, so give it to me again. So
Natchez, Colton, and I'm taking Wood off because I don't think Wood's a tradable contract.
Yep.
Natchez, Colton, Manson, Girard.
Girard. Sammy G.
It's the obvious answer.
I like Sammy G. He's a good skater.
He's a very
Speed,
good player. He is an underrated defenseman.
puck mover.
He had a really good year, but
I like grit, man. I like size. I like physicality. I want more of that in my second or third pairing of my D-men.
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Got a little bit of breaking/developing news here with the Denver Broncos. So this just coming out about 10 minutes ago. Free agent running back J.K. Dobbins has a visit scheduled with the Broncos, according to Tom Pelissero.
Cool.
The reports are that either tonight or tomorrow night, J.K. Dobbins is scheduled to have dinner with Sean Payton and the Broncos brass. Just taking a quick look here before you guys react to his career stats. He's played 4 seasons, 2,252 rushing yards, 21 rushing touchdowns, and he's an okay receiver out of the backfield. Actually, last year he had 32 receptions for 153 yards with the Chargers. So J.K. Dobbins potentially becoming a part of the Denver Broncos running back stable.
So if we go back to free agency, which feels like forever ago now, J.K. Dobbins, he was on my list. He was always on my list for guys I wanted the Broncos to go look at. You know, for a guy that had 900 yards last year, I understand why teams would not want to pay J.K. Dobbins elite money. I don't get why the dude doesn't have a job. I don't get that at all. Broncos, we've asked this question 100 times. Is R.J. Harvey capable of being an every down back? Maybe, but that's a maybe. We don't know that. J.K. Dobbins makes a lot of sense to me.
Your running back room gets better if he signs.
J.K. Dobbins last year, 195 carries for 905 yards, 4.6 per, 32 catches for $163, had 9 touchdowns. What's not to like here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I do understand.
And he's not that old.
Not that old, no. I got you. What do we got here for J.K. Dobbins?
I mean, out of his 4 years, he's had 2 really good years. His rookie year was really solid, 805 yards. Then he went 520. He was hurt in 2023, only had 8 attempts on the season. And then last year he had a fantastic year. So why does this dude not have a job?
I don't know. I like it. I like it for the Broncos.
I don't know what took
Chargers
so long,
Chargers didn't want to pay him. And plus they get Genty?
They drafted Amarin Hampton.
Raiders got
Genty. They drafted Hampton. So, okay. Would you rather have J.K. Dobbins or Jaleel McLaughlin?
Probably J.K.
Okay. I mean, it comes down to that.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Mike, if I'm being honest, I think it would probably come down to Audric Estime more than anything else.
Fine. Would you rather have Audric Estime or J.K. Dobbins?
J.K. Dobbins.
Me too. Estime. I roll my eyes about everything with Estime. You can't tell me a guy that you benched in a playoff game for Tyler Bidet is any kind of priority for you the next year. I just don't believe it. I think they're putting good lip service to it.
Did you say the same thing about Mims the year before?
But Sean said we got to get him more carries.
Yeah, I'm just not buying it. Sean Payton admitted he was underused his rookie year.
Well, did he say that when somebody asked him about Estime? He said, listen, he's a back that's got to get carries, and we didn't do a good enough job to get him enough carries.
But the Broncos didn't just draft a receiver. They just drafted a running back. So the belief in Mims is way higher than in Estime.
But what round did they draft that running back?
Second round. But
and when was Estime drafted?
Estime was like
he was
a
sixth.
Later, yeah.
Was it that?
Fifth?
God, I thought he was like a 6th.
I can look at it. Yeah, it was.
I might be wrong.
It wasn't. I thought it was 4th.
I think it's
I
fifth.
don't know. Audric Estime was drafted. Come on, baby.
I'm going to go with 5th. That sounds right.
Come on, baby. Give it to me. He was running back 21. He's a young guy, 5th round. 5th round.
That's a low priority, man. You move on.
Yeah, see, I know drafts. I just don't know mock.
You know real drafts.
I know real drafts.
Real drafts.
The Altitude Daily. Kretman and Lindahl.
He's got an injury history, so there's always that.
Sure. So last season, J.K. Dobbins had a grand total of, I'll make sure that I got these numbers correct. Last year, 195 carries.
That's more than touches for Javonte.
32 receptions.
So it didn't sound like they threw him the ball much, which is fine.
Yes, so
That'd
not
be a true split scenario with R.J. Harvey.
Quite up to Javonte's number. Javonte had 70 targets, 52 receptions last year.
But he also, we're talking about last year, and Jim Harbaugh is committed to the run. We know that.
Yeah.
That's why he went ahead and drafted Omari and Hampton.
Yes.
Because they're going to hand the rock off to him. So I would still say, I'd still probably if I had to put money down today without watching a lick of camp, I would say R.J. Harvey's the touch leader.
Last
in the
year
clubhouse.
At UCF, R.J. Harvey, 252 touches. That was 232 carries, 20 receptions. So already R.J. Harvey walks through the door with more touches than anybody had on the Broncos last year. Now, obviously, he's the star of their offense, critical part of their backfield, all of that. But I would guess, again, we're going off the R.J. Harvey's your number one back right now. He was drafted to be your joker. So I believe that he will be over that number. Jaleel McLaughlin, 137 total touches last year.
That's going down.
You think that goes down?
Yeah, man, I think R.J. Harvey's here to take his place.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dobbins is here. If Dobbins gets signed, to make it clear to people, he's just visiting tonight. He's not signed.
Yes.
But if Dobbins gets signed, then my guess is that Dobbins is here to take Javonte's place. I think Baday's probably still, although McLaughlin was still the person they thought was going to be was it him or Bidet that was supposed to be a big part of the playoff game and never materialized?
They suited up Bidet and it did nothing much happen.
And he talked up Bidet to...
McLaughlin was the number 2 back like the entire year.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, I like Jaleel McLaughlin, but I don't know. There just doesn't seem to be a commitment to him there. That's all.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com/Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.